Hi guys, it's Friday Tips with Fenz here from FTP Training. Again, what we're going to try and do is just come up with some the regularly asked questions that myself and my coaching consultancy group get asked that can help you be a better, faster, stronger cyclist. Okay, so something which is again a fundamental problem and to a lot of people out there when they're racing and riding their bikes is eating and drinking correctly while you're training and racing. Okay, it stands to reason, and I use an analogy of the car. You know, you don't go, oh well, I'm not going to stop and fill my car up when you know it's running out of petrol, because you know the car is going to pack up on you. Well, a car is very similar. It's an engine, and we have an engine, and we need to fuel it. So it's very vitally important that we fuel the body correctly, and that we have the right amount of hydration as well. So, you know, what is the right amount? What should we be doing? Now, it's my view is that the eating and drinking on the bike is a habit that's formed in training. So if you go through your general weekday not eating and drinking on the bike because you're only going out for an hour to an hour and a half training session, and you go, well, I don't really need to eat or drink on this ride, then you're really not setting the habit for when you do go to race a longer race and need to eat and drink. So my view is, and my recommendations to all of my athletes, is to make sure that you get into the habit of eating and drinking. And it isn't an easy habit to get into. So what I would suggest is setting the alarm on your watch or on your computer so that, you know, every 15 to 20 minutes, the alarm just gives you a couple of beeps, and that's a reminder for you to take a drink. Now, you may in training only have some water in your bidon for the first, you know, because you're only out there for an hour and a half, but you're still getting into the habit of reaching for your bidon. When you're used to that and you're confident and happy that that habit has been set for drinking while you're on the bike, it means that when you start to race and you're doing some longer races, you're still going to keep well hydrated. Conversely, what I would also consider doing is making sure that you trial and use your energy drink in training. Again, I see it at the very highest levels with some of the best athletes in the world, and also with the beginning athletes, is that if you don't train with the product that you want to race with, come race day, what happens is you get to 2 hours into that race and your gut isn't used to handling that amount of carbohydrates because you don't train with it, and you have gastrointestinal problems. You have what we call, it feels like the shutdown. You just cannot take anything on board. Now, if you're in an enduro race or a race over 2.5 to 3 hours long and you really haven't eaten or drunk properly, the reality of you performing at your best is it's just not going to happen. So set the habit in training. Make sure you're using a product in training that you're going to use in racing. Okay, that also leads us to the gels or energy bars. My thought processing is races, you know, 2 to 3 hours long. I would primarily go on liquid foods, energy drink and gels. The reason for that is they're more easily absorbed into the body than solid food because they pass through our gut lining much quicker. Remember that when we're exercising, especially in race situations, is that there's a redistribution of blood around the body, and most of that blood is geared towards the working muscles, our legs. So there's little blood supply to our gut and our intestines. So therefore, the absorption of food is nowhere near as good as it is at rest. So therefore, if we can help the body by providing it only with liquids, then the ability to absorb that into the bloodstream and utilize that carbohydrate is far better. So I would go on a gel, an energy drink or water to wash the gels down. And realistically, we need to look at a minimum of around 70 grams of carbohydrate per hour of exercise. Now, with a better quality energy product, for instance, like Torque Energy, it has a combination of fructose and maltodextrin, which enables the body to actually absorb more carbohydrate than standard maltodextrin alone. And even if you're only a 50 kilo female competing, you can still absorb up to 90 grams of carbohydrate per hour. And that puts a significant advantage for you over a fellow competitor who might only be using a maltodextrin and being able to absorb 60 to 70 grams of carbohydrate. So again, set the pattern. If you know you need 70 grams minimum per hour, it's very easy to identify. One gel is normally 30 grams of carbohydrate. So realistically, you're going to be taking 2 gels or 3 gels if it's torque per hour and water, or if you've made up a 5% solution in a litre bottle, you'll be getting 50 grams of carbohydrate within that litre of energy product at 5% solution, plus a gel will give you enough carbohydrate to fuel you through your exercise per hour. Again, set the alarms on your computer, set the alarms on your watch, get into the habit of eating and drinking correctly on the bike, and when it comes to the end of a race, you'll be in the prime position and optimally fueled to be the very best you can be. I hope that's helped. Again, set the habit now, and it'll help you throughout your racing and cycling career. Fantastic. Hope to catch you on the trail. Coach Fenz here. Bye-bye.